Everyone, this is Aruna, Assistant Professor, Department of Information Technology, SNS College of Technology. In my lecture series today, we're going to see about the one interesting concept in the database management system. So see this picture. By seeing the picture itself, we can able to identify what is the topic going to be discussed in my lecture series. See here, something is transacted between the two mobiles. Some amount can be transacted between the one account to the another account. These two persons are handshaking. Here, symbol shows these some dollars can be transferred from one person to the another person. Similarly, here also. So see through that, today we're going to see about the concept of the transaction. So first we're going to see about the previous what in my lecture series we discussed is in the thing I have discussed the ER diagram and architecture and also how we can write a queries in terms of SQL. In SQL we have seen so many queries and also we have discussed the dependencies and normal form. So today we're going to see about the transaction. So what do you mean by transaction? Transaction is nothing but a certain action. It can be performed some operation. So between the two end system, that can be called it as a transaction. So this particular transaction can be did it by the two ways, either by the analytical processing or by using a transactional processing. So how we can choose whether I can go for analytical processing or a transactional processing, this can be depend upon the application where we are using. See, if you want to, for example, if you want to show some historical data, I'm going to represent some historical data. In this case, definitely we have to go for OLAP because here we doesn't need any normalized data. So redundant data, if it is present inside the data warehouse or a table, there is no bother why you can go for an analytical processing. If you are taking it is in a transactional processing, if you want to display the current data, for example, you have to telecast the current score of cricket score or hockey score, everything. So if you want to show some graphical representation on that particular data, definitely it should not contain any redundant data. Your table must be a normalized data. So all your transactional processing, definitely it will become under the online transactional processing. So this is a best example thing between the transaction. So transaction is nothing but some operation can be performed between the two end system or between the two persons. So that can be called it as a transaction. So this is a simple online transactional processing and online analytical processing diagram. So here based on my business data, I can able to represent this thing. But in my transactional processing, I can able to do certain operations. So if I want to, for example, my table can contain the employee salary. If I want to put 10,000 to all the employee, those are belonging to the EC department or any other department, definitely we can't able to do one item one by one. So, but we have to go for certain operation to do this particular process. In this case, we are going for an online transactional processing. But if you are going for an online analytical processes, we can't able to do any operations. Only we can able to do some decision making. By using that thing, we can able to represent like this. We can't able to do any changes in that particular data. So this particular concept only we can call it as a OLTP and OLAP, and both can be used as the business process. So all the process can be used for business, but it only depends upon our applications. So this can be called it as a OLAP and OLTP. For example, simple example for a transaction. If I want to transfer a bank amount from one user to the another user. I am having a two user, one is Keros, another one is Roy. I'm going to Keros going to send 5,000 to a Roy. So what are the steps could be followed for transacting this particular data. So this entire process only we can call it as a transaction. So that is nothing but if I want to open an account, first we have to open an account. From where we going to transfer our amount, in that particular area, we have to open our account. Because according to this particular case study or particular scenario, first Carol's going to send the amount to a Roy. So first we have to open the Carol's amount. Whether it will have a sufficient amount to transfer the data, that and all we have to check. All our test case we're going to do it. First we have to open that particular account, and also we going to see what is the old balance of in the Carol's account. That is the second step over here. In the third thing, I'm going to debit from Carol's account as a 5,000. After that, I have to credit it in Roy's account. So in this case, I have to calculate the new balance. The new balance can contain the old balance minus how much amount we going to debit. That we have to done it over here. And also after completing this process, we have to write that particular result. If you want to read the data. If you want to do some changes in the reader data, that is also possible. After did that one, definitely we have to write that particular data in the original place where that particular data is located. So here I am updating my ROM balance, Carol's balance as a new balance. That in another name, balance. That I'm going to close my Carol's account. After closing this thing, you're getting a notification, is it right? Whatever the amount you're transferring, it send a message like this. Your amount can be debited from this particular account. Is it right? Along with your old balance or currently how much you're having in the account, everything it will be displayed over here. Then in the receiver part, you have to open your account, and also there also you have to check the old balance, and also we're going to credit that particular account. We're going to add that debited amount over here in the old balance. Then you have to calculate the new balance. Finally, you're going to close this particular account. So why we have to close this account? Close this link means if you are not closing this link, some people, some other person can able to attack this particular account. So whenever you are opening your account, and we must going to close our account. See through that, this is a simple process of transaction. Just some amount can be transmitted from one person to the another person. See through that, only we're going to do two operations. One is I'm going to read my account. After that, I'm going to some transactional processing operation. After did that one, I'm going to close my file. These are the general close. So here we're going to use two memory operation, read and write. Do some updation. After that, I'm going to write that my data. So this is the simple application of a transaction. I think everyone can understand what do you mean by transaction along with this particular example. In next section, we're going to see about the properties. Thank you for watching my video.